Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Cereal Review, the show where I review cereal for you. And I know it's been a minute. I just needed to take a break, find some stuff to get to start reviewing again. And I realized that I don't think I've ever actually reviewed just regular Frosted Flakes. So just saw just now actually when I came back for lunch that the store nearby was selling these huge boxes of Kellogg's for like $4 each. If you buy two. So I got one of these, and I figured it's a good time as any to review it. Probably not gonna have too much to say about it. Everyone watching this channel's probably had Frosted Flakes before, I would bet. But I'll give my quick thoughts on it. I will say ahead of time, and I may have mentioned this before, that I'm not the biggest fan of Frosted Flakes when it comes to like the major, big, well-known cereals that people really like and are popular. It's not really a cereal I like all that much. I think it's a bit overrated personally. I think the advertisements and like the nostalgia have go a long way with Frosted Flakes, where in reality it's just kind of just sugary milk at the end of the day because it's just corn flakes with sugar on it. Gets soggy really fast. The corn itself has just basic taste to it, doesn't add all that much to it in my opinion. But they are they're like a giant when it comes to the marketing with Tony the Tiger and the catchphrase and all of that. So I can see why people enjoy it so much to a degree. And as always, you got him right there with the "they're great" line there. I think something that a lot of people do forget, though, is you can see it right here. The cereal, I guess technically the name is called Frosted Flakes of corn, but it's really just known by Frosted Flakes because that's what's there, and then the of corn is stuck off into the corn. So yep, I think everyone knows what the Frosted Flakes look like. Kellogg's also makes just basic corn flakes, the one that has like the rooster on it, and it's literally these, but just without sugar. I don't think anyone really eats those. It's nothing special at all, even worse than this, because it just doesn't really have any flavor to it, but it's just those with the sugar put on it is all. Now I will say that dry Frosted Flakes is pretty good because you get a nice crunch to it with them being like so dry and brittle like this, and then you get the sugar taste along with it. So when it comes to like just pouring some out and just snacking on them dry, if that's your thing, this is a pretty good one. And you tend to get more of like the corn cereal taste towards the back end of chewing it, where right away you get the sugar, and that's most of what you get up front. And then as it sits in the milk and all that, it's one of those cereals where the sugar just completely goes into the milk, and the cereal itself doesn't have much of a taste, but the milk gets all of it. To me, this is at its best right after you pour the milk in and the two are mixed together, and those first couple bites you get, that's the best because it's still all really nice and crunchy, and you get that texture and the flavor and the corn cereal flavor in the back end, all of it. That's when it's at the best. Yeah, you get all mixed together, but it's distinct, where you get corn cereal flavor, sugar, and then like kind of like back and forth in that sense, and it's nice and cool. You can taste like just the milk as the milk without any extra flavor to it. So altogether, it's quite pleasant. It's pretty basic, which again leads to why I'm not the biggest fan of Frosted Flakes. But it's pleasant. It's definitely good for what it is. I see why people like it so much, but as it sits, even like now already, it's probably changed a lot in flavor. Even only being in this for not even a minute, really, I can already taste that the sugar's kind of gone off into the milk a good amount already, and it's already kind of changed the taste where the milk is providing a lot more of the flavor than the cereal is. Just have a little bit of it on its own. This one's stuck right there, but there we go. Yeah, that's already got that like cereal, like sugary milk taste to it that a lot of other cereals go off. I think Frosted Flakes is quite distinct with the type of sugar and the way it's put on it and how it leaches off into the milk. It's a very distinct taste, like I think unique to these sorts of cereals, like the ones that are similar to Frosted Flakes. And I think that's probably another reason people really like this cereal so much is if you're the type of person to drink everything out of the bowl that's left over at the end, it's probably partly because you enjoy that taste that Frosted Flakes provides when it kind of blends out together, as I've always mentioned with so many other cereals. Now, I think the other reason I'm not the biggest fan of this is when that happens, with a lot of other cereals, I like to say that it does taste a lot better once you leave it like that because everything's kind of more cohesive and blended together. It's a lot more interesting. With Frosted Flakes, you kind of just taste like the plain corn cereal, completely separate from the milk and the sugar, which is now mixed together. And I just don't like that very much. It's like I'm tasting two separate things. Even though like I take the spoonful all together, it's kind of like I get one then the other almost in my mind, and I just don't like that at all. So that's the other reason I'm not the biggest fan of Frosted Flakes, and it's lower on the big popular cereals that I would like to eat. And it kind of just loses more and more of its flavor the longer you let it sit here. Cereal gets soggy really fast. I'd say if you are like me and you really enjoy after it kind of sits for a minute and blends together and all that and becomes more full in its flavor, I'd imagine you've had Frosted Flakes before probably, but if you haven't or haven't thought of it, think about it for a second, and maybe you're like me and you don't really like Frosted Flakes all that much and you've never really wondered why or thought of why. That could be the reason why. It could just be as simple as that. It's something that you wouldn't probably really think of, but that's at least what it is in my case. Again, not to say this is like a terrible cereal, like it doesn't taste bad. There isn't something like off-putting about it or anything. It's just I personally don't like that how it blends together after it's been sitting for even just a minute, and that's just my personal issue with it. It's for many people it's probably not an issue at all, and you really like the marketing and Tony the Tiger and all that because like, I mean he's classic. He's been around for so long. Like one of the older well-known cereal mascots. Maybe possibly the best catchphrase for any of the mascots. And there's even like the songs that they have in some of the things going to associating Frosted Flakes with sports and all of that. The only other cereal I can think of that's like that is like Wheaties, but people look at that as more of like a joke in a sense of like, oh yeah, eat your Wheaties. But this actually has like the advertisements for with a fun character doing it where Wheaties just puts like athletes on the boxes or something like that. And when's the last time you heard of someone eating Wheaties, honestly? So I think it has that going for it. It's more like fun cereals in that regards. But I'll take one more bite here as it's almost complete mush at this point. Yeah, the cereal's like near tasteless at this point, and I'm just not the biggest fan of that. So overall, that's just my thoughts. A quick short video to go back, going after one of the big cereals I haven't gotten around to yet. So give me your thoughts on Frosted Flakes. Are you similar to me? Do you have a similar thought of how it loses its flavor, how like they separate almost? Have you thought of that? Do you not like that? And is Frosted Flakes your favorite cereal? Like, why? Is it because of Tony the Tiger and the marketing? Or do you actually like what I do not like about this cereal? Because I would be interested to hear that. So it's good to be back. I'll make sure I get some more videos going regularly again. And I will see you next time. Thank you.